Welcome to the WeAre Podcast, the podcast and community empowering Black, Latino, API, and Indigenous people to excel and build wealth in the industries of tech and sustainability. As you know, we aren't just a podcast. We have an online community, your safe place to connect with other people like you. Join the community for free at weare.online. We have an exclusive content and events for members only, so just join and don't miss out. Okay, now on to our guest. What's up, Anni? Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. My name is Anni. I'm the founder and CEO of Spyra Beauty. We're a platform basically positioning ourselves as the anti-influencer beauty platform.
Oh, anti-influencer. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so our whole thesis, right, is like from what we've discovered in working in this field of beauty, right, is that today's consumer is just like overwhelmed by influencers, right? You go to Instagram, every other reel you see has a link, which means paid for. It's not authentic. Yeah. And so with that, we're kind of designing a platform where the whole concept is get your reviews from your friends rather than some stranger on the internet.
Ooh, I like that.
And so like when you use our app, right, you'll be able to log your product, scan it, share with your friends, and then also write reviews, right? And so it's like, let's just say I'm going to Sephora. I'm trying to figure out which hair product, which skincare thing to buy. I can now look up that product on Spyra, see if any of my friends have tried it before I make my decision to buy.
Got it. Okay, so like when you are, is it available like on Apple or on Android, both? And everything like
it's available on both Apple and Android now.
And it's currently live and functioning?
Currently live. We're still adding new features on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. But right now, it's like a lot of our core functionality is there where you're able to scan your products, you're able to write reviews, follow your friends, get notified when they review something. And so it's a way for you to kind of connect with each other in real time. It's like think of it as like a visualization of the group chat, right?
All right. So let's see. How about, is there any other competitors out there that are doing the same thing?
It's like there are other apps, I'd say, that focus on the like the drawer and the tracking element of it.
Oh, okay.
Right. But one, we're free, right? And so we like our whole, like we don't intend to charge users for using our platform, right? Because I think there have been some apps that have like made it money by like basically fear mongering, right?
Yeah.
They're like, you can scan a product, but now you can see, oh, this one's bad. Mm-hmm. And so for us, it's like we're trying to make all that accessible and free for the consumer, right? Because especially with like ChatGPT and modern tech, there's no reason you should be paying for knowing what's in your products.
Got it. All right. So let's go into like, so how are you actually promoting your product right now? What are your kind of your marketing strategies of like, whether it's like downloads or even to your website?
And so in the past, we've used Google Ads, which worked.
Okay.
It worked decently well from like a number standpoint. Mm-hmm. But then what we found is like the engagement after the fact was not that great. Right. And kind of as we're building this as more of a community, we're focusing on realizing that like basically like a massively global campaign is probably not the best way to go about it. Mm-hmm. And so, and even for us, right, like we noticed like the community where people are most interested in is the North American one, right? So we're kind of trying to target that down again. Mm-hmm. And so like I think with our previous build, the UI wasn't really user-friendly. And so that was a big change that we made to kind of make the UI more intuitive for people. Mm-hmm. And then, so it's like you could tab the different sections, see skincare, hair care, nail care, all these different categories, and then share that with your friends, right? But so basically the UI intuitiveness was a big thing that I think is changed with this iteration. And then now we're actually making content, right? Because I know in the past, right, we just weren't making enough content, right? And obviously everything in beauty runs on TikTok, Instagram, right? Like I know with some of our investors, right? They're like, oh, you need to keep your Instagram or LinkedIn updated. It's like, no, I need to keep my Instagram updated. Yeah. So one, it's like we're starting to put out more content, starting to onboard a little bit of UGC here and there with the budget I have available, right? So right now it's like our social page is mostly just like skincare related memes tying to like the Spyra background, but we found that's the reach on that is pretty decent. And so it at least keeps feeding the algorithm while we're starting to onboard this content, and then we'll kind of blend it in. The other angle that I'm working on as well is, so I've attended Miss Universe and we'll be attending a couple other pageants this month. And so one of the big things that we've found, right, is that with the pageant crowd, they're very like well-rounded, multifaceted individuals, right? Because the beauty, like even it was my first time going to Miss Universe, right? And so it's like what I was really amazed by is like all these delegates, right? They come from all over the world. They are They're beautiful. They all have philanthropies that they're advocating for. A lot of them have careers or plans outside of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And so it basically develops this like well-rounded person that like is a better role model for the younger generation. Right. And so those are the kind of people that we're working to try and promote on our platform.
Got it. Love that. Okay, so what actual platforms are you on? Are you on actually TikTok and Instagram then? Is that those are two?
Yeah. So as far as where we're marketing right now, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, I know I need to look into Pinterest as well because I've been told that's a very good demographic since our target audience is primarily women. Yeah, I know Pinterest, and then everything has a lot of like visual components as well.
Mm, love that. Definitely don't forget YouTube. YouTube's a huge channel. I mean, still the largest video platform out there. And right now they're increasingly expanding to TV where they have the most people watching on TV as well. So it's like great reach on YouTube. So be sure you can even repurpose all your content on there, whether it's like the shorts and verticals. I mean, even on YouTube now, YouTube Shorts, you can go up to 3 minutes now. So it's like, it'll be considered a vertical shorts.
My thought process is people are going to discover it when they're on the phone, right?
Yep.
And so it's like Instagram, TikTok, but I guess that's a good channel too, right? Because just repurpose the content, at least just keep the reels going.
Yep. There's one great tool that I use all the time. It's called repurpose.io. Basically you just take one of the channels that you really post to and just have it syndicated to all the other channels. Great way to get everything syndicated with just pretty much just setting up a workflow. Yeah.
What all channels does it repost to?
There's a bunch of them. They're adding a bunch of them on there too, because I mean they're pretty much of a startup as well. So like now they're actually adding to LinkedIn now. So you can actually add vertical videos, anything to LinkedIn. So you can even add it to your company page, so once you get all that content going, just, might as well like just post it one place as your base and then have it syndicated everywhere else with repurpose.io. So that's something I'm actually doing with a lot of my content because I mean, I do a lot of interviews myself. I just repurpose, have an editor cut it all up and that just it gets syndicated. Yeah. So that's one of the things I would do over there too. I've been doing marketing myself for over 20 years now, from events to online to even just a lot of guerrilla marketing and within the music business. So I wanted to for those in the audience out there and for you, so they can learn from our situation here, because there can be different use cases. When it comes to marketing certain things, I'd love for you to see if you, and especially SEO. Obviously, SEO is my jam, and whether it's video SEO, even on Google SEO, even doing AI SEO. One of those things. Those are the things I focus on nowadays. So I would love for you to see if you have any questions on SEO, and I can definitely help you out in our time here.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess from an overview for the audience, right? So for my questions, they're going to be geared towards how do I maximize people downloading the app and engaging on it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I know for us, it's we've currently been going through a lot of the back end tech work to rebuild it and the network to actually get it out there. Mm-hmm. But I think now we're kind of getting to that point where all this SEO actually is relevant to us. So timing is perfect. So I guess starting off, right? I know from a couple of people I've talked to, right? There's with SEO, so there's a lot of stuff relating to keywords, but I've also heard that misspelled keywords play a big role in how you rank in the SEO.
Google is really, really, really smart nowadays, and you don't really need to do that. But what you can do is making sure your keywords are in the right places, especially on your website. I was taking a look at your website right now. One of the main ranking factors is an H1, and your homepage right now does not have an H1 at all. So make sure you talk to your webmaster, making sure you have an H1 on your website, and that should be the kind of your top headline here, right? So on your website you have the anti-influencer beauty platform, right? So I believe it's an H2 when I last checked, but that should be an H1 because it signals to Google that this is what you guys are about. And one of the main things too, one of the second highest ranking factors is also the meta title. The meta title is look at the top of your browser bar right there. Yeah. All it says is just your brand name. That's where you need to insert your keywords. You can put Spyra Beauty, the anti-influencer beauty platform, because anti-influencer may be a little modifier, but beauty platform for anyone that's searching a beauty platform is that's the keyword right there, right? So and from what I've noticed, there's just over 1,000 searches a month for people searching this. Yeah, and the competition is really low. So you have a great opportunity here when it comes to ranking for a beauty platform. And just by actually optimizing your on-page optimization, where there's just the meta titles and even that H1 right there.
And so this is a question too, right? Because our product is essentially an app, right? It's an app platform. It's different ways of saying the same thing, right? So is there, do you find that one might get a better response than the other?
have no experience in actual apps, like doing like optimizing with an app like ASO or anything like that. So the App Store optimization may be totally different when you're ranking on, like, let's say the app on the Apple platform or the Play platform. But when it comes to, like, let's say online search, it's basically it's your kind of brand awareness. Because when it comes to organic rankings, you're looking for these non-branded keywords that people are just searching for, and they'll see your brand, and then they can kind of look more. And this is where you actually should have them right away. So right now, if you're an app, you should actually have an Apple download and a Android download on the very top. It should be right in the very beginning. Yeah, it should be right in the top, because that's what you want them force them to do. Right, they run the landing page, they'll know exactly what to do right away. So their call to action should be just those, having that right there.
Okay, so app logos to the top.
Yeah, exactly. The app stores, Google Play. Make sure that's right there. That's call to action. Yeah.
Right. So you're, and then so with, basically you said in the H1, I need to make sure I have that and have all the keywords that we need. Okay. So I'm just writing down my note.
For those that are not like SEO savvy, for you to do keyword research, if you go to Google real quick and just type in like beauty platform. You can go to beauty platform. All right. So now you can see the things that you should be answering are all the questions where it says people also ask. Scroll down a little bit. There'll be people also ask. So these questions right here, you should be answering these questions within your page. And then if you click on it, you'll get more questions. Watch, click on it, you'll get more questions that go below it. Even more. See, there'll be more that shows up. It's kind of like, you kind of take a look at all these questions and see which applies to you, and then answer these questions on your website. So you'll start ranking for these.
So should I have these questions on my website as well?
Yeah, you can. Or, again, Google's smart enough. You can have the answer to it, so it'll know. You can just answer it. But usually, you'd say that you'd make it that like an H2 on your website. And it's usually like, maybe you can create like pretty much, you can kind of create an FAQ at the very bottom of your page with a bunch of these questions.
Yeah.
And then just
index.
Yeah, just because it looks like you have a single page website, right? It's pretty much just one page. So create, like, at the very bottom, a frequently asked questions section, and pick the top ones here. And then for the keywords, keyword wise, scroll to the very, very bottom. If you scroll to the very, 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 very bottom, you can see here. So these are the keywords that you want to start including within your copy, right? And then like, let's say maybe if there's beauty platform products, if you click on that right now, it'll give you another set of questions. So like another set of questions that are kind of related again. And then if you scroll all the way down, you'll get a new set of keywords that are kind of related.
Keep kind of digging.
Yeah. So this is how you can develop a really, really good content strategy where that you are answering everyone's questions. So like this, people go to Google to ask questions, answer, and even like we're like ChatGPT now, right? So like using AI, like for something like that is like basically answering questions. It's conversational. You want when you put great content on your site, make sure it's a conversational tone.
Yeah. And how deep do you think you need to go as far as like looking at the keywords, looking at the stuff in the bottom here?
I mean, I'd say maybe a couple times, and if it starts getting kind of off topic of what you are, go back to the main search, search, and search another keyword that you are related to. Let's say let's do one right now. Let's see. You can also
say like skincare tracking.
Search that skincare
tracking,
and then so you can see what comes up here. See more keywords. What is a skincare tracker? So that would be a great blog to write, right? This is something that you can create blogs out of. If the question can be answered like in a little more longer form content, do it and create a blog out of it. That'll be your content strategy as well there too.
And how do you find and post, or like how do you determine which blogs to post on, or how does that process work? Because I know I've heard the term backlinks. I've seen some examples of it, but I'm not entirely understood. Like I don't entirely understand it yet.
Yeah, so when one of the main ranking factors also is backlinks. Basically, one backlink is one vote for your website. When I looked at your site right now, you have about 37 backlinks. So you have 37 websites linking back to you right now. So that's that's good. So, but when you create content, you want people to link back to it so it gets ranking as well. Yeah. So I mean, so your homepage is good because you'll build your authority because you started your site like back in June. It looks like June of 2024. So. Yeah, it's still new. You want to make sure you get more backlinks to your homepage because that's your main page. Because anything that you link from your homepage will get all that juice.
We're trying to drive traffic to the like the Apple App Store or Android Play, right? So I guess we should be having backlinks for both our website and then also the App Store.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
so. So one of the things, if you want to get that ranking also as well for certain keywords, like your particular page, you can think of your actually App Store homepage as your actual homepage as well. So you could think
Yeah.
of like whether it's in the description and all that good stuff. Putting all these keywords that you find here in there will get that surfaced up. Because I'll tell you this: the app stores, like whether it's Apple or Android, those are really high authority. So if you can
Yeah.
optimize those pages, you'll rank really well on Google when people kind of find those as well.
Yeah. I know you said your focus is a little more ASO, but I mean, so I have my App Store and then Android open here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if there's any differences that come between the two stores from a ASO ranking standpoint?
No, because each platform
Yeah.
has their own algorithms. It was really easy before, where you just kind of stuff a lot of things within those platforms, like years ago. But for this page, at least, your actual download page, like this is what you can optimize for, at least Google search, so Google can surface this up.
I think it's like when you submit it to the App Store, they have all the keywords somewhere.
Yeah, and make sure you fill it out right. You want to fill it all the way out, and you want to use don't skimp out on it. And so you said you did some Google ads, right?
Yeah.
If you want to open that up, I can show you where you can get a ton of keywords that people are actually searching. That it's called keyword netting. And basically, when you put ads up, you show up for a ton of searches, right? So like, let's open up one of your campaigns that you ran. So like, was this a search one, or is like, let me see. If you go to insights and reports right there, and okay, where'd my ads show? Are these the only Oh, you only ran in mobile campaigns, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So no paid search campaigns. Okay. So look in this insights and reports, you can usually see, like, let's take a look at insights. Let's see if there's any keywords that show up here. But if you ran a regular campaign, it would show like what people were searching, where your ad showed up. So like,
I think they have the word showed up. Let's see.
That's
TV
just showing
screens,
like
tablets, mobile phones.
Yeah. So it's just saying that's not showing your
like
keywords.
Most of it came to the mobile, right? Which is kind of where we're
makes sense.
Traffic anyway.
Yeah. And one of the things too, like let's say like if you do keyword search, like when you're bidding this, what were you putting in keywords in this, or how is this set up here?
Groups. Let's just pick the biggest one.
Groups, status, is this mobile?
I think it was like basically, I think a setup similar to someone looking for a beauty app.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know we ran a lot of the ads on the previous build, and now it's basically a restabilizing the platform before we start relaunching.
Yeah. Usually I would have people do, if they're just starting a whole new brand new SEO campaign as well, it's like do a small paid search campaign. So you do paid search, so you'll see on Google, so you'll be able to see what your audience is actually searching for. Just search, put in the main words like, beauty platform, or like the skincare tracking, just put all in the main keywords as broad, and then let it run for like a week or two. And then you'll see under the insights and reports, like all the search queries that showed up. And then you can say, oh, those are great keywords that we should actually be writing about, because that's why it's called keyword netting, because you're actually kind of fishing what people are searching for. And then, I mean, that's also something that, you can do, but you can also go to, like, let's say, go to tools right now. If you go to tools and go to keyword planner, keyword planner right there. And you can actually even have this, find some keywords for you as well too. So if you explore keyword planner, discover new keywords, just put in beauty platform.
Yeah.
Beauty platform. And then just get results. You'll get a ton of keywords that you can like look for and probably create content around. Or, well, actually there's only 5, right? And there's only cosmetics. So there's actually not that much competition. So like it's not that competitive. So try skin. Was that skincare?
If I say like beauty app, maybe.
Yeah. Search. And then get results. All right, there. And you're getting a ton of more things. But but then again, when you go a little more broad like that, you'll get some stuff that probably won't even fit your actual your audience there. But you can always refine it. So you can play with this also. This is a great way to do keyword research through the paid words, through the paid search side, and also for the organic side.
Yeah.
And on your website, are you? I mean, is it actually like fully done? Are you still updating it? Is there like
We still probably got to update some pieces of it. I like basically I just wanted it to reflect the newer concept that we're working on because I know the previous build, basically the focus of the app was a lot different. So
got it.
Because I think so when people are looking at it, they have an idea of what we're going for.
Got it. Yeah, because I mean, there's some stuff I did find on the very, very bottom. If you look at the footer, you should make sure you
a couple of these links need
or the lorem ipsum stuff on there. So you have to make sure you get you want to make sure you get that cleaned up. Everything else, and also your I clicked on your icons there. The icons actually go to just the websites. They don't go to your actual your social media icons. You should actually make sure they go to your actual social media profiles. Yeah. So, I mean, you want it to go to, because that will actually be a backlink to your profile as well. So think about doing backlinks to any of your profiles or anything that will get that all ranking within Google itself.
So all of these count as backlinks.
Yeah. It'll be backlink to, we'll count a backlink to Facebook, Twitter. But if you have a link on your Twitter back here, that counts as a backlink to your homepage. So you want to, go both ways. So you want to do something like that.
On Fiverr, you see a lot of these tools for like backlink, ASO stuff. Do you have any thoughts on those?
I would steer away from those because those are the tools, like usually tools that they'll just use to spam out. So they'll say like thousands of backlinks. There's some, I mean, there'll be some reputable ones there. I would say like if you want to go like for someone that's like more of like the higher DR ones, like say DR70, these ones right here, like you want to go with something like that. Don't go for the blasts. And then usually when you ask them like, hey, can you see like get their list where they'll put you on? So like sometimes you want to make sure they're beauty related. Don't just get a backlink from like an automotive site or anything, right? Yeah. So when you actually if you ever go to one of these people that DR70s, and I would pay for more of the higher ones. Don't go any of the cheap ones. Like
so what does DR70 mean?
Okay, so that means domain rank, like domain rank, and basically authority. How many? Someone's domain rank usually it'll be higher if they have a ton of backlinks themselves. If that particular site has backlinks yourselves. So so like right now, when I look at your domain rank, you're about a 19 right now with your 37. So I'm looking at some tools, third-party tools I have that I use. You have it. You're at 19. So think about that. So if you're at 19, you want to get like links from the DR50 and up, because that'll raise your domain rank up. That juice will pass on to you. But if you stick to all DR90s, and then you get a few of those, you'll shoot up like really quick, and that'll make your authority really high.
And so I guess since our domain authority is low right now, could we start off with the 50s, or do we need to start off with the 70s?
I mean, as long as it's higher, I mean, like I wouldn't go for a DR10, right? Because it's still low. Yeah. So I mean, DR30 would probably be the very minimum. But I mean, if you want that quality links, it's good to have more high quality links than low quality. Yeah, I mean, but if it's a DR30 and it's maybe like they charge you like maybe $50 and it's beauty and it fits your thing, hey, why not? It's a legit link. So don't buy links blindly. I mean they say it's against Google's terms, if you buy links, but it's just everyone does it. It's people sell it. They're pretty much going to put your site on someone's blog, or they're going to write a blog on their website, and then you got kind of get that. So it's going to be something like that.
And so see, they have all these like different options, right? So this one's German. Does it matter what country these backlinks come from?
I mean, of course, if you want to be more well known within the U.S., get U.S. because there's the German US sites. German, like there are like a lot of clients that would need, like say some in German, like the DE that would go there. Anything with a .de domain would want to get German backlinks. Anything that's related, whether it's location, specifically a niche, like it's those are the ones that you really want. Yeah. So that's those are some really, really great stuff there. I mean, again, you can really quickly fix your homepage up by the the meta titles and the H1s there. So, I mean, is there any other questions you would like probably to chat about?
Let's see, right? Do you cover social media marketing and stuff like that as well?
I do somewhat. I mean, I'm strictly usually on YouTube. And so I do a lot of YouTube videos, which is why like you heard me in the very beginning, like, hey, don't forget YouTube. It's one of those things where I mean, again, and YouTube has their own shorts platform, and obviously like it's more newer in their platform. They're competing with the ones that already have that vertical shorts going on. So it's good to get in there now while
These are
you're
really like earlier
yeah,
posts.
yeah.
Like,
Like
yeah,
I'll see some of my videos on shorts get a lot more views than my regular videos, right? Because they're promoting things a lot more within the short algorithm.
got it.
So like if you're already creating shorts there, all you gotta do is just repurpose it. You use repurpose
Yeah,
IO, or if you have a virtual assistant that can help you
yeah.
out, yeah, have them post things back and forth.
And then I guess with YouTube Shorts or whatever,
Mhm.
do you have any thoughts as far as like when like running ads to help people find your page or
Yep.
anything like that?
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you recommend growing a page from the start?
And I'll tell you this: YouTube ads are the cheapest right now, and I get the highest like click through rates. They're so good. So
Really?
like, yeah, I mean, you want to follow like even like these whole like 1 minute video sales letters type. There's some formats and scripts that you can like kind of
Yeah.
follow that will get you the hook. You had a great hook, and then you have like I have my attention. The average view duration of like all my actual ads are like over 100%. Like they're rewatching
Oh,
my
wow.
ads. So the thing is like, and they're really cheap. And you can actually do some retargeting. You can actually pick the channels that you want to actually advertise on. So like I'm here spending like, I'm actually spending like maybe like only like 15 cents less than 10 cents of actual like, people that are interested within SEO. And so this, I'm actually building, when you do that, you're building your own retargeting pool. So now I can
Yeah.
retarget the people that watch my videos with another offer. So, so it's kind of like you kind of build this tool. So like right now on your homepage and in your app, you should be making sure that you have all your pixels on there, right? All your advertising pixels, whether it's Meta's pixel. So you can do some retargeting on Instagram and Facebook. You want to get TikTok's pixel on there. Just make sure that you're collecting everyone's data so you can actually retarget them in the future.
Yeah. And so I know because I've had some experience working with Instagram ads, right?
Yeah.
And so do you find that like I know what I've heard Instagram ads are really good for is like you get really specific
Yep.
and then it also retargets well, right?
Yeah.
How does YouTube compare relative to
Yeah.
Instagram, would you say?
It's in Google. It's in Google Ads, so you can do all the you're choosing in there like the actual demographics and all that stuff. But it's not as detailed, or you can it's not granular as let's say Facebook or even on TikTok. But there's a tool called Sparktoro. You can probably it's an audience research platform, so you can
Okay.
search like let's say like you put in like any makeup brand, right? And you can see like
Yeah.
where they're you can get all the demographics and all that stuff, and you can get like see what sites they're actually visiting, which videos they're watching, which channels they're watching, so you can target these channels. So
Yeah.
it's a great tool to do some research on your audience. It's called sparktoro.com.
Sparktoro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because for us, I think like basically the handle I'm just kind of like full throttle on is with
Yeah.
the pageant circuits,
Yeah. That would be
right?
fun.
Because like
Yeah.
the more I dig into it, right, like the more one it's like the quality of person you're promoting on the platform, right?
Mhm.
But then also like there's a whole network of like people within the pageant circuit, right? Because one of the big
Yeah.
things as a social platform is like how do we build these different network loops in a
Mhm.
way that the product helps drive itself?
Mhm.
And obviously, it's like I'm trying to find people that basically believe in what I'm building to try and get it as authentic as possible, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, let's just say you get whatever the Miss title is, right? But now it's like she has a media team, she has a social team, she has a
Yep.
family, right? And now all of these people have extended networks as well. So that's kind of how you build this like almost like umbrella structure for getting people to connect on the platform.
Yeah. You can definitely should have partnerships, right? Develop partnerships with all these companies and all these like those different type of groups, and where
Yeah.
they can so you can definitely get that going.
And that's also one of the things too, right? From a tech standpoint, featuring someone's like featuring the upcoming pageant contestants is not that difficult to do, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like basically like think about how Facebook has suggested, right? When there's an upcoming pageant, as long as I have everyone's like data in our system, right? Then you can promote it to basically like it pops up like Miss Universe is next week. These are the
Yeah.
girls running, right? And then because of the nature of our platform, right? It's like we can also tie it in with data.
Mhm.
And so it's like these are the like basically based off your demographics, these are the pageant contestants that might have products that are most similar to you,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Because
You
I
can build
know
that in.
our whole with our previous build, the focus is a lot more on like facial matching,
Mhm.
right? So it was a take a selfie, find which celebrity or influencer you look like,
Mhm.
right? And so it's like the tech to do that we basically have in the back end somewhere. But I do think that'd be like an interesting thing for the pageant circuits, where it's like if we're able to essentially let people match to contestants in an upcoming race or a pageant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It creates a bond between the viewer and the pageant person, and basically like they're getting it's a better engagement, right? And so it helps bring more eyes to the pageant and doesn't really cost them too much. Yeah.
Yep. Love that. Love that. Okay. I want to go into like, we're coming close to time here. I want to go into like a little bit more about the WeAre member story here. Cause you found us through WeAre. I'm curious, like, how'd you actually hear about WeAre?
So I heard about WeAre through Karina. So
okay.
I've been talking to Aaron, who's been in the music industry for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we met last year at Stripes conference, right? And so like I was kind of like, this is back when we like Spyra had a whole different theme back then. And so like, this is one of those things where he was just like, he liked the vision of what I was working on. So we just ended up staying in touch. And then, through that, right, got put in touch with Karina. And then since talking to Karina, I got in touch with WeAre.
Love that. Love that. And so when did you actually join? Did you join like was it sometime last year?
When did I talk to Karina? Like probably like within the last couple of weeks, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty recent. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. And you said you actually met his buddy at the Stripe conference. That's where you were at?
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how like all the tech conferences I've been to, that's the one where it's like the people I met there I'm still in touch with, which I think is like really interesting because those conferences are pretty like hit or miss. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I actually manage Stripe's content SEO content strategy. So that's what it's one of the things I do right now for the past for over a year now. So that's one of the things that I do on the side of this whole after this WeAre thing here going on. So I'm curious now, like for those people that are on the fence of joining or anything like that. I mean, like anything that you kind of like say about WeAre to like, hey, just join.
Yeah, I mean it's free, costs nothing.
There you go. Yeah, so right.
And it's a way for you. It's just it's another avenue you can explore when you're building your brand or building a company or just looking to network, right?
Yeah.
Because I do think it's just like creates a very unique environment where it's like the people of color get a voice and everyone's helping each other. And I do like even from my experiences, right? Because like I obviously as a startup founder, you have to spend a lot of time in Palo Alto, Menlo Park, right? But I do find like the WeAre community kind of moves faster.
Yeah.
Because people are just more willing to help each other, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, like this, you met us 2 weeks, and we already have a podcast schedule, right? This is something where it's like we're actually getting things moving. And then even from this right here, this is gonna be great content for both of us. I mean, once we post it, we're gonna be talking about Spyra. We're gonna get and WeAre right here and how we made the connection. I mean, for those that are also like wanting to, because I know you have a data scientist background, right? So I mean, are you the actual developer of your app, or do you have a team?
Yeah.
How'd you actually? Yeah.
So a little bit about my background, right? So, my undergrad was in economics. I finished that in 2 years, and then went on to do my master's in computer science. And so my thesis was focused around like web conference summarization in the days before ChatGPT, right? Back when people actually had to like write their own code and and so it's like my background comes from that. And then after that, my first job was at basically a startup that worked with like price modeling. And so it's like, let's just say you have like a label, right? And so it's like, how do we optimize the price of a label, colors, fonts, sizing for production lines? And so that was a good machine learning exercise for me. Second job was with the metaverse stuff until that basically the market tanked for that, I think. And then after that, that's kind of when I was just like, let me do my own thing. Right. So it's like even with Spyra, I think like a huge part of why you haven't seen a lot of innovation in beauty with tech is like just like the two sectors just can't communicate with each other. Right.
Yeah.
If you step in a cosmetology class or step in a computer science class, you basically have to find a world in which both of those people can talk to each other.
Yeah.
And even and so that just hasn't really happened. Which I think, and then even for me, right? Like I'd say even for the first 2 years, right? Like we weren't like, I wasn't really like getting my hands dirty with beauty stuff. And so it's like, since doing that, that's when I've actually been able to like build the network in beauty, understand how the products work, right? Because like any beauty brand you talk to, right, is like, okay, what do you use? Why do you use it? What are your actives? What are your secondaries? Like, why are you using what you use? Right. And so it's like, for the longest time we weren't able to really like relate to that, whereas now we are, right? Because even with being in the pageant scene for probably like half a year now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think just like my outside perspective and coming from a tech background and being able to say like this is right, this is wrong, just hasn't happened, right? Because that's the other thing I've noticed with like with tech, right? Your stuff works or it doesn't. Whereas with beauty, it's like people tend to be way less direct and less confrontational, right?
God, yep. For someone who wants to like look into having a future within like the tech industry, and like I mean, what or even sustainability like industry, like what are some of the things that they should like look into to like get into that industry?
So I do think, like just from my experience, right, if you can apply tech to problems that haven't had tech in a while, right? Like, so it's like basically like, because I do think with the modern AI and everything, right? Like tech jobs alone, I think aren't what they used to be, right? Because I know, like I did my master's from Cal Poly, right? It's a 1% school, right? The year prior, like people were making like $250,000 coming out of the master's program.
Mm-hmm.
My year was 70K. This year was like zero. Right.
Oh man. Yeah.
So it's like there's like in tech, I will say like tech is a useful skill to have, but like you need to apply it to situations that haven't traditionally had tech.
Love that.
That's where like the value add I think can really come with technology, right? And so now it's like with all the AI tools, right? Like one competent person can do the work of 5 people.
Yeah.
And so it's like and then with all the globalization as well, right? Like for me, it's right. Like if I'm hiring developers in Pakistan or India, right, they cost 20 to 25 an hour. If you want to go to Ukraine or somewhere like that, it's like 35, 40, right? If you want to go to the Bay Area, it'll be like 150 to 250, right?
Yeah.
And so like one of the interesting things I've found is that like so like we've raised angel money, but it's like obviously not enough for me to take a salary or like enough to really like hire Bay Area talent.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of things, like I find that I have the exact same problems as my friends who've raised millions of dollars, right? And so it's like, for me, it's like whether it costs me $20 an hour or $300 an hour, you have the exact same problems, right? But it's like you need to know how to manage whatever you're going to hire for, which I think is the big thing, right? Where like with any innovation, right? Because I think now it's like I've gotten to a point in beauty where like people in the industry have no problem like relating to me and knowing that I can understand how their products work, how to market them, and all these different factors, right? And so before you are able to build any authority in the industry you're trying to innovate, you need to understand how that industry works, and then you also need to know how to run the tech needed to innovate in it, right? And so that way too, it's like with a lot of times you'll end up working with freelancers and all that, but it's like you need to know when they're trying to run game on you and when they aren't, right? And so like, yeah, and because like that's I've seen that happen, especially with people in beauty, right? Because especially like I've noticed there's like a divide around like age 35, right? And so
age
a lot
35.
of the beauty. What's up?
Tell me more about age 35. There's a divide between age 35. What's that?
Yeah, because it's like I'd say it's like basically you have the generation that grew up with technology and the generation that didn't.
Got it. Yeah.
Right. And so if you think about all the people that are like more or less professionals in beauty, right? A lot of those people are in their 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they know how to they know all the technicals of beauty, but they don't know how to run their social media pages.
Yep.
And so like they're able to like do amazing makeup or do amazing hair, but they don't know how to market it effectively, right? Whereas the younger generation, it's like they're very tech savvy. They know how to post their reels. They know how to feed the algorithm. And so like this social media influencer culture has percolated too much, right? Where it's like there's value in both, but the thing is like I think the younger like social media driven side has basically lost touch with the side that like is actually like technical and knows the product deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's why you also have this problem where like there's influencers nowadays that just like they have too much power.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So true.
And so it's like I know that was like one of our huge things with our platform, right?
The anti-influencer.
Yeah. And so we've also implemented a trash bin, right?
A trash bin.
Like, with beauty products, right? Most people don't know this, but like a lot of them have a return policy.
Oh.
Right. And so it's like if you buy, like I know it's our esthetician, right? So she works with shoppers in Canada, which is essentially like Sephora, right? But I believe they have like a 90-day return policy where if you don't like it, you can return it and get a full refund. But nobody does that.
Yeah, because
right?
you think it's used. And it's like, I would
even if you use it, right? Like, and so like kind of what we're trying to implement too is like, hey, if you don't like the product, at least put it in your trash bin so your friends can see that you didn't like it when they shop.
Love
and it's like nowadays, like for a lot of people, right, money's tight. They're using their own money. And so it's like you get your Christmas Sephora gift card and then you buy something and then you hate it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Any last comments for the audience out here?
I think that's it for me. Yeah. But check out WeAre, check out Spyra.
Yep.
And yeah.
How can people get a hold of you? Your LinkedIn, website again?
LinkedIn, like honestly, like Instagram's the easiest.
Okay,
right?
Instagram.
That's LinkedIn for beauty. And then you can also reach out through LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
All right.